On this week's episode of the show, exciting news from Blackpool Pleasure Beach as the park's managing director confirms a brand new major project for 2018. We also take a closer look at the 10-year development plan that Chessington have also released this week. All that, along with much more, including Merch Paradise, Interact With Me, and Ask Me Anything. I'm Shawn Sanbrooke, this is Theme Park Worldwide the show, and that means it's time to cue those titles. And as ever, a very warm welcome to this week's episode of the show. It looks like you all had a fantastic bank holiday weekend. I saw quite a few tweets coming in on @ThemeParkWW over the weekend from you guys at the parks. Looks like you had some fantastic times. Also on Facebook, quite a few people messaging in and sharing your photos from you guys at trips over the weekend. It looks like you've had a fantastic time. The weather might not have been great for the bank holiday. Well, it never really is in the UK, is it? But you know, it looks like you've had a good time out there, got to the theme parks and not let the poor weather put you off getting out there to ride some roller coasters. It was also great to see quite a few of our Alton Towers over the bank holiday weekend. Saw quite a lot of you guys there, and I know a lot of you had photos which you've sent in, and they'll be on next week's episode of the show. Also then we've had some new videos on the channel this week, some new on and off ride videos, a couple from Knott's Berry Farm and a few other UK theme parks. Along with that, of course, our Drayton Manor vlog, which went online just a few days ago, and if you've not seen it, it's absolutely hilarious, so make sure you check it out. We've got a couple of new vlog stars in there as well, so it's worth seeing if you've not yet watched it. Lots to get through then this week on the show, so let's kick straight in with a little bit of news off the rails. So the big news this week then is of course from Thorpe Park and the delay of the Darren Brown Ghost Train. I am quite sad about this. I've been looking forward to it all winter, and I was of course looking forward to getting there this Friday when it was supposed to open. However, I can sort of see where the park are coming from. If the attraction's not ready and they want you to experience the full sort of theatrical experience, then I can sort of see why they have delayed it. I'd much rather go in there and see the full experience than go in there and see something what's not quite ready to go yet. So full respect for the park for that. It was announced, you know, over a week before it was supposed to open as well. Just after we recorded last week's episode of the show, they announced that it wasn't going to be ready for this Friday. As I mentioned in last week's show, all the hype from it, and we was going to be talking about it this week. But like I say, we're going to talk about that when the attraction, they announce an opening date, or whether it's just going to open or not. We'll sort of talk about what you guys think about the attraction in a couple of weeks' time, when hopefully this attraction's either going to be ready to open or already open. But like I say, the park haven't sort of said when it's going to open yet, but they have said that it's not going to be too long before we get on this experience. If you look sort of out the front of the ride as well, you'll sort of see how the entrance sign has gone up. There's been a lot of other work going on around the queue area. It looks ready to go, so I don't think it's actually going to be too long until we get on Darren Brown's Ghost Train. But it's keeping the excitement there now. I mean, you know, everyone's still looking forward to getting down there and experiencing it. And in a way, it's sort of get the hype up there more to think, oh, there's that much sort of technical effects going on there. But if you have a little look at the statement, what the park actually released, they said it's a completely new invention and they're still making the final tweaks to the remaining elements to get things absolutely perfect. We want you guys to have a mind-blowing experience from the very first time you ride. So there you go, that sounds exciting. We already know that there's many different endings and ways through Darren Brown's Ghost Train, so this just shows that, you know, there's going to be so much more to it than just going on the once, experiencing it and then thinking, oh, I've done it now, the next time I go around is going to be the same. It's going to be different. There's going to be a few different routes and sort of things to see in there, which is going to be great. I'm looking forward to experiencing that, and of course we will be down there either on the opening day, whenever that may be, or if not the opening day, very soon after. We are still going to be at Thorpe Park this Friday, where we'll have a look at the exterior of the attraction, we'll film a vlog, and it's going to be a great trip down there to Thorpesville on Friday. We're not just going, we're not just thinking, oh, we're not going to go because the Ghost Train's not ready. We're still going to go down there, enjoy the park, for what it is, and just again have a look at the facade. The facade's absolutely crazy, and as I've mentioned last week, it's fantastic to see Merlin investing in a huge dart ride instead of just roller coaster after roller coaster. coaster. So I'm looking forward to getting on this when we do get on it. And of course, we'll be posting first on the @ThemeParkWW Twitter page. Make sure you go and drop us a follow there for all the news first. And also the Theme Park Worldwide Facebook page. Drop us a like there and we'll post as soon as we know the details when it's going to open. And we'll also have the full details here on the show. I'm looking forward to seeing it. It's going to be great, and let's just hope it's worth this wait. I'm sure it's going to be. I've got full faith in Thorpe Park with this, especially with Dan Brown being on board. I think it's going to be fantastic when that opens. So that's Dan Brown's Ghost Train coming soon to Thorpe Park. So there we go. Some exciting news though from the Southern Theme Parks and Merlin, and that is from Chessington World of Adventures about their 10-year development plan. Now Chessington's a park that I really enjoy, but it always seems to be quite busy, and in terms of high throughput attractions, it's something that they might have lacked over the past few years. Now they're going to be putting in a lot of new stuff, it seems, over the next 10 years, which is great to see. The park's already expanded quite a lot in the past few years with new additions such as Safari, Wild Asia, re-themes of rides such as the Scorpion Express. They added a Sea Life Centre. Of course, they had a complete rebrand of their Safari Hotel. It used to be owned by Holiday Inn, it's now owned by the park. They also built a second hotel, the Azteca, a couple of years back. So the park is really expanding, and the whole resort side of things seems to be booming down at Chessington. And in this 10-year master plan, it definitely looks really exciting for the park. I've been waiting to see something like this come out for Chessington for a few years now. We all knew it was going to come at some point, and here it is. So let's have a little look through at what they're going to do at the park. So first off, a new lodge development. Over 40 lodges next to the Safari ride with a path access to the current hotel resort. So that'll be something worth following. Again, more accommodation, all to come within the next 10 years. We don't know sort of any dates within that 10 years when these things are going to open, but hopefully it won't be too long, especially for some of these developments I'll reveal to you in a second. Brand new staff building and car park improvements. Yeah, it's what's needed, all about the infrastructure. Like I say, it's not all about new rides for these parks to expand. They need infrastructure as well, so that sounds good. A relocation of Trail of the Kings, which is the main section of the zoo, to a brand new area on newly purchased land, which is behind Mystic East, which is where Dragon's Falls is, and also behind their new sort of glamping area for this year as well. But there you go, so a newly purchased land around the back there, which is good for the park. It's quite a small park as it is Chessington, so it's good to see they've got some more land to build on now. And that's where they, in the long term, they plan to relocate the zoo. They've actually just spent some money on Trail of the Kings to refurbish it for this year. So I don't think that's going to be in the first part of this 10-year plan to move Trail of the Kings. I'd probably say that's going to come a little bit later, especially with them just spending the money to refurbish it now. This is the exciting part for me. In the next 10 years, we're going to see 2 brand new roller coasters open at Chessington. So this is great. Both of them, of course, will be family rides. They won't be massive coasters like the Swarm or Nemesis. They're going to be family coasters. Which is perfect for the park. I mean, it just shows if you look at what Paulton's Park have done with the Lost Kingdom. They spent some money on 2 brand new roller coasters from Vekoma, themed them amazingly, and it looks great. So maybe Chessington are going to go along down that route. Maybe put the 2 coasters in one area, or maybe in separate areas. But there is some rumoured areas for these coasters, and that's next to Black Buccaneer and Dragon's Fury on the massive sort of field area there. And also where Toadie's sort of crazy cars at the moment. So just out the front, Dragon Falls and Peaking Heights, just round to the side there's a massive space, sort of by Ramesses Revenge as well. Massive sort of area there where that ride could go in the centre of Chessington. So we'll have to see with that one. But the sort of concepts what the park have released seems to be of a water coaster design. So one of them looks to be like a standard family coaster with some jungle theming maybe. And then also you've got a water coaster in there as well. I love water coasters. I'd love to see one from maybe Mack Rides go in there. The one that's featured is from Comeback, and that's the Flying Dutchman over at Efteling. But yeah, we'll have to see what happens with that one. It's definitely something worth following. 2 brand new coasters, I'm not complaining. It's 2 new credits close to home. In the UK, without travelling abroad, and it'd be great to go and see. So it's great to see this. Of course, family rides is Chessington's main focus, and being a family resort, and hopefully we'll see some other TLC going on with some of the other attractions such as Bubble Works and things over the next few years as well. So in terms of plan applications then, this July that's going to be submitted to their local council, but not the full application. The individual applications will start to go in from the end of this year, sort of November, December time. But we don't expect any of these developments to open initially. It's probably going to be at least the back end of next year, early 2018, before we see any of this come to light. But it's definitely great news for Chessington, and we'll have to see what happens with the park in the future. Finally then, some massive exciting news this week from Blackpool Pleasure Beach. Now, it's been rumoured for a long time now about a brand new roller coaster coming to Blackpool Pleasure Beach. And this is it, folks. Amanda Thompson, the park's managing director, has confirmed that there is going to be a major new investment at the park opening in 2018. So we've seen early sort of development going on with this new ride over the past sort of few months. Since the park opened back in February, they of course took down the Tom Sawyer Bridge. That's completely gone now, which sort of connected the area by the Big Dipper over to the big one. That's opened up a massive new space now for a huge new roller coaster. Now we also see markings on the floor, which sort of mentions different track pieces, and it looks to be like a launch sort of going through the middle of the area, but who knows. But that was the sort of only area where we saw these markings. As I'll get onto in a second, we've had some more photos sent to us from our Blackpool correspondent, which is great to see, but we'll show you those in a second about where markings have now appeared in a little bit of a different place. But the reason we know this is now confirmed is from an article in the Blackpool Gazette where Amanda Thompson was interviewed late last week about the new ride and what's going to be placed there. So she's revealed that she plans to build a multi-million-pound new ride, although details are still under wraps, but it will launch in 2018. That's all we know at the moment with the details. Rumours wise, there's a lot of rumours going around about it could be a Mack roller coaster, possibly a Mack mega coaster similar to Helix, at Leesburg, or Blue Fire, which was the first Mack mega coaster to open at Europa Park. I'd love to see something like that there. You might have seen our vlogs from the year so far as well. We're always following the developments at Blackpool, and it's definitely something really we're going to be keeping our eyes on at the park. Here's a few pictures then. Thank you very much to our Blackpool correspondent for heading to the park on Monday and taking these images for us. So here you go, in the first image you can sort of see some red markings, which are quite interesting. Some red markings next to the big one's lift hill support, and also the park's railway track. So there you go, that's quite interesting, a bit different markings than what we've seen so far. Also some markings here on the park's old monorail track, so you can see the monorail in the background there, and some markings on the floor. Again, that's sort of down to the side of the big one's supports for the lift hill. So there you go. And then finally some number markings on the pathway next to the HB Leisure stands where you play all the games, one in to win, prize every time, sort of next to the pathway just there, which was leading around sort of Eddie Stobart and the Avalanche, just at the top of that pathway just there. Brilliant photos there. Thank you for our Blackpool correspondent for sending those photos to us, and it looks great. We're going to be following it very closely here on the channel with Project 2018. We can now officially call it that. At this time in 2 years, it's exciting to think that at Blackpool we'll probably be riding this massive new coaster, and we can't wait to see it here at Theme Park Worldwide. We fully support Pleasure Beach and what they do. They've had some fantastic investments in the past few years, so let's see what 2018 brings. A massive major investment. Well, it's got to be a coaster, hasn't it? It's got to be a coaster, and looking at the markings, the way it says track and things, it just shows it's going to be a huge ride. So I'm looking forward to seeing this, seeing the layouts and things. Hopefully it'll intertwine with other rides and things at the park. It's a very compact space at Blackpool, but I'm sure I can imagine this massive coaster, hopefully from Mack, roaring through the site, and it's going to be great to see. We'll be following that here on the channel all throughout the rest of this year, all throughout next year, through the build process, right through to the opening day in 2018. Other news from Blackpool though, Amanda said she wants to open a museum based on the park's heritage inside the Noah's Ark attraction. So the Noah's Ark is literally just above the turnstiles area at the park entrance. That's been standing but not operating for a few years now. So hopefully that's going to open as a museum. She says if she did open it as a museum, she'd open it for free to the residents of Blackpool to come and see a lot of Blackpool's history. So we'll have to see what happens with that one. And again, we'll keep you up to date through our vlogs and also the show here on Theme Park Worldwide. So it's time for Merch Paradise, and this week I've got some items fresh into the world of theme parks within the past 7 days. First off, I've got this. It's a bit of roller coaster chain, but not just from any roller coaster out there. This is from the classic steeplechase attraction at Blackpool Pleasure Beach. There you go, look at that. Really nice item, and this was available to purchase in the gift shop underneath the flying machines for just 12 quid. This was the last one, so I'm not sure if there's going to be any more coming into stock. Well, this was quite a unique item. If you didn't realise, Pleasure Beach have sold ride parts for a couple of years now, and they're available from the Big One shop and also underneath the flying machines. There's a bit more of a variety underneath the flying machines normally. And that's where I got the coaster wood from. But look at this, I mean, it's worth going to Blackpool just to get some unique coaster merchandise. So there you go, I've got that. Oh, watch the mug, Shawn. Don't want any of them damages going on. And this here is a nice reel as well. This is actually from Revolution, there you go. And it's a coaster wheel. This was 30 quid, but I don't mind paying that for wheels because good quality, and of course this has been used on a real coaster. I've got over 10 wheels now, 10 wheels at the World of Theme Parks. So there you go, another coaster wheel. And again, with these, you get your nice little, sort of thing on the side. I don't know, what do you call it? It's like a little description, so to speak, of what it is. It just tells you what it is, like a little label. That's the word I was going to go for. It's a label, and that tells you everything about what you've purchased there from the shop. You also get now a certificate which comes with your items as well, which is quite a nice little feature, a little certificate telling you that it's official from the park. Talking of official, this is something what a lot of you guys have been asking for ages, and this is some of Theme Park Worldwide merchandise, and I've got the first couple of items of merch here. I mean, we're starting off with pin badges and lanyards, and we might move on to other things subject to how popular they are and how much you guys want. So here you go, here's the first time. This is the Theme Park Worldwide lanyard. There you go, look at this. So you got a really nice sort of Theme Park Worldwide in bold on there, so everybody knows who you're from. There you got a nice little hook on the bottom there, which is for fastening like a lanyard to. If you've got an annual pass for a park, you could maybe attach that to it in like a little plastic holder, or you could even hole punch it and stick it through. I'm sure the park wouldn't mind that. But there you go, so that's the official Theme Park Worldwide lanyard, which will be available to purchase along with this pin badge. Just here, I mean, this isn't going to show up very well on the camera. But there you go, that's the Theme Park Worldwide pin badge, and it's literally our official logo that you'll see on the channel. And there you go, I'll bring it a little bit closer. I think it isn't really going to focus that well there, but there you go, that is the official pin badge. There is going to be some pictures posted on our Twitter and Facebook pages, so make sure you take a look at those to sort of see this merch. You might be thinking, how can I get my hands on it? Well, they are going to be available from the first Theme Park Worldwide event, which is going to be held on May the 21st in a couple of weeks' time at Drayton Manor. We're going to be meeting at 10 o'clock outside guest services. There was a massive shark there, and I was telling everybody to meet by the big shark. That shark seems to have gone for some refurbishment in the past few days. So there you go, meeting by guest services right in the centre of the park, next to where that shark was anyway, so straight to the centre of the park. You'll see the Bounty Pirate ship and guest services. That's where we're going to be meeting, and maybe the shark might be back, we'll see, but it's right next door to that anyway. So I look forward to seeing as many of you out there as we can, and you'll be able to purchase lanyards and pin badges there. It's £4 for both, and that means you get your lanyard and your pin badge. After the event, we'll look at making them available to purchase online as well, and that's something we'll definitely look forward to. But like I say, I know a lot of you want to represent Theme Park Worldwide out there and show your support for the channel, also show that you're a big fan of ours and you like going to the parks, and we are recognised at a lot of UK theme parks and European and American parks, but of course with us being based here in the UK, we are recognised and known to be a really good fan club from the UK park. So wearing one of these, you are representing the channel, and the parks will think, he likes Theme Park Worldwide. So it's definitely something to look at purchasing if you are interested in the near future. Questions everywhere. So it is time for Ask Me Anything, the part of the show where you get to send in questions to us at the channel, and then I read out the answers to 4 different questions each week. So first off then is William Tedstone, who has asked, what impresses me the most about Nemesis at Alton Towers? Is it the layout or the theming? Well, there's a little bit of a combination of both, but I'm going to be saying the layout, and that's because of the location of the ride. If you don't know the history about Nemesis, of course it opened in 1994, and it was literally a car park. Prior to the ride opening, it was a car park, it was flat grassland, and there's even an old photo around online with the tree, which is next to Nemesis Station now, which was there before the ride was constructed. How about that? That's Shawn's fascinating fact of the day. I'll try and get one in each week for you. But there you go. So the ride, the fact it's constructed in a huge pit is absolutely crazy. And another fact for you, I'll give you 2. All the rocks that you see around Alton Towers, you might be thinking, there's a lot of rocks all around the pathways and things, especially in Forbidden Valley as you lead down the massive rocks. They were all shot blasted out of the pit for Nemesis whilst they were building it and placed around the park as decorative items. So there you go. If you ever wonder why there's so many rocks around Alton Towers, that is why. That's why you watch Theme Park Worldwide, because you get facts like that. But there you go. So yeah, it's the fact that it's in a massive pit and the layout's incredible. The loop is still one of the most intense loops on a coaster that I've done. So thank you for your question there, William. Next up then, It's from Drew Stanaway. If you could change a ride at Alton Towers, which ride and why? It'd be Rita. I don't really see much point in it these days. I mean, it's still a good coaster, but I'd rather sort of ride a Matt Mega coaster, something that's a bit smoother. The launch is a bit more, gentle and more enjoyable than just zoom. So yeah, it'd be Rita that I'd change, and I'd get a nice Matt Mega coaster in there. I love Matt Mega coasters. If Blackpool get one, then I'm going to be there every weekend. I'm sure it'll be one of the best coasters, if not the best coaster in the UK. So there you go. Thanks for your question. Tom Lander, what flat ride do you think should be added in the space of Ripsaw and Submission? Loads of questions relating to Alton Towers this week, but a really good question there. So in terms of Submission, I think something from Mondale would work quite nice down there. Maybe a Mondale top scan. You might have to have two because of throughput issues, but I think that would work quite well next to sort of Enterprise and Oblivion. I think it'd look good down there. Maybe yellow and black like the Smiler as well. There you go. In terms of a Ripsaw replacement, it's a really tough one. I'd love to see something a bit like Maelstrom there, maybe an Intamin gyro swing. That'll work quite well on that site. Again, throughput might be an issue, and I think that's why we don't really see many of these flat rides at the parks these days. But there you go, that's what I put in if that was my personal choice. So thank you for your question there. Finally this has come from Shields. There you go, a really interesting name. The most precious piece of merchandise here at the World of Theme Parks. It's a tough one, but it is going to have to be my Intamin restraint from Colossus at Thorpe Park. You can see some footage of it just on the screen just there. I absolutely love it, and it's still one of my favourite items. The fact I've got a coaster seat and I'll sit in it and enjoy sitting in it, and it just makes you feel like you're back on the coasters. So thank you very much for all of your questions this week. If you'd like your question reading out on the show, all you need to do is submit it via our Theme Park Worldwide Facebook page on the private messages there, where Charlotte will get back to you, or you can email us too. It's ask@themeparkworldwide.co.uk. All you need to do is email that with your question, and the best ones will be picked for next week's episode of the show. So as we always end Theme Park Worldwide the show, it is time for Interact With Me, and it seems to be getting more and more and more each week. It's absolutely fantastic to see how many items you guys want to send in and get shown here on the show. But let's have a little look then at what you guys have sent in for me this week. Some really good photos we've had come through. So the first one there is from Charlie Craig with a blue flyer on-ride photo. Not a blue fire from Europa Park. It's the junior wooden coaster located in Nickelodeon Land at Blackpool Pleasure Beach. So thank you for sharing that with me. Jonathan Blake with a Jurassic Park on-ride photo. Can't wait to be back on Jurassic Park in September. It's a great water ride with some fantastic animatronics. So thank you for sharing that picture with me. Daniel with a Rugrats Lost River on-ride photo, again from Blackpool Pleasure Beach. It's a great ride. Really enjoy that. It's a bit of a soaker, bit of a Valhalla going on there. Harrison Armstrong with a Tomb Blaster on-ride photo. So thank you for sharing that. You got Richard Clark with a Loggers Leap on-ride photo. Oh, I do miss Loggers Leap this year. Hopefully it'll be back open next year at Thorpe Park. So thanks for your picture. Cameron Ashworth with a Big One on-ride photo. I hope you enjoyed the Big One there. It is a good ride. I might take the mick out of it a little bit in the vlogs, calling it a monorail. But if you've been on Silverstone and Shambhala, you'll know how the drops are a lot steeper and there's a lot more air time, but it's still a good ride to have here in the UK, and it's a very iconic coaster as well. So thank you for your picture. You've got Kaylee with a 13 on-ride photo. Love 13. 6 years old this year as well. Crazy. Well, thank you very much for sharing your photo. 6 years to 13. Crazy. Stacey Baker with a Mumbo Jumbo on-ride photo. Mumbo Jumbo is a really good ride. I really like the SNSL locos. I find them quite fun. I did enjoy the one at the Adventure Dome in Circus Las Vegas more. And check out the vlog from that if you've not seen it. It was a really good trip. So thanks for your photo there, Stacey. People who've had photos with me then this week, we've got Ryan Mitchell, there we go. You got Ollie Bedford, there we go, it was great to see you. Harvey Swain, who also had a picture there with me. And finally, Luke, who also had a picture with me there. So great to see you. If you do see me out at the parks, make sure you send it in and I can put it here now with the episodes of the show. Merchandise picks then this week. You've got Gareth Jones. Hi Gareth, big friend of the channel. He's got a fantastic pin badge collection, so thank you for sharing that with us there, Gareth. Joel's got a collection of IMAscore CDs. Now IMAscore produced theme park music. They've produced the Smiler soundtrack, the Blue Fire soundtrack for On Ride. They've done loads of different soundtracks, including our brand new music at Tower Street. In terms of the different music at the different parks, it's mainly now produced by IMAscore. They do some fantastic stuff stuff. They started over in Germany and they're going to be branching out to all these European parks, and it's great to see for I'm a School. And of course, thank you for sharing your photo there with us here on the channel. Then you've also got Aaron Rogers with Alton Towers mugs and resin collection. There we go. Some great photos then this week, but let's have a little look at the shout outs. So first off, we've got Theme Park Mania, Owen Pickering, Chloe Fletcher, Josh Callan, you got Jesse Jeepers, sorry if I've said that wrong, I'm awful at pronunciations, and then the big happy birthdays from myself and Charlotte here at Theme Park Worldwide. You've got happy birthday to Sharon, Jonathan Blake, Daniel Raya, and also Shawn Sanbrooke. I don't know if I said that right. I'm absolutely awful at pronouncing names, but Shawn Sanbrooke. I think I said that right. I'm not too sure if not, but there you go. Have a great birthday, and there you go from us all here at Theme Park Worldwide. That is nearly it then for this week's episode of the show. I hope you've all enjoyed it. If you've got any interact items to send in, all you need to do is send them in via Facebook message, where if you drop us a like there as well on the page, you'll get to see all the news updates first and links to our videos. So if you send them there on private message, and Charlotte will reply to you, or you can email them to us. It's interact@themeparkworldwide.co.uk. It's just there at the bottom of the screen for you guys. interact@themeparkworldwide.co.uk. Me and Charlotte look forward to seeing what you guys have sent in. Now, in terms of new videos on the channel, then of course we're going to have a vlog from Thorpe Park coming up online within the next week. We're also going to be at Paulton's Park to look around the brand new Lost Kingdom, with it now being open for the press day. So that'll be this Saturday, and we look forward to sharing that vlog online early next week here on the channel. In terms of other big trips coming up then, we've got a trip out to Madrid. Myself and Dean from the vlogs will be heading to Park Warner Madrid and Park the Attractions in a couple of weeks' time, just before our Theme Park Worldwide event at Drayton Manor. And then after that, of course, we're leading up to our big June mega trip, where a few of us vlog stars, including myself, Martin and Joe, are going to be heading out there and doing a lot of different theme parks in Europe. We're going to be going to Phantasialand, Efteling, Toverland, Plopsaland, Movie Park Germany, Wallaby Holland and Wallaby Belgium. It's going to be an amazing trip. We're going to have 7 different vlogs from all the different parks, and I can't wait to share that with you guys here on the channel. In July then, we're going to be back at Europa Park. Me and Charlotte will be there doing a vlog for you guys. In August, we've got a couple of surprise foreign trips for the channel, so I look forward to sharing those. And of course in September, it's the start of Halloween on the channel, Screen Park Worldwide, and we'll be out in Orlando to see what they've got on offer in terms of new attractions and also Halloween as well. I hope you've enjoyed watching this week's episode of the show. I am Shawn Sanbrooke. Thank you for watching, and that means it's time to cue those credits. See you later, guys. Have an awesome week.